The movie begins with a scene where a man is seen in a cornfield, dragging a rather eerie-looking scarecrow. He carefully selects a spot and proceeds to bury the scarecrow. Upon closer inspection, it becomes evident that there's a human figure concealed within the scarecrow. However, this particular scarecrow fails in its intended purpose as crows begin to peck at the person trapped inside, whose desperate screams are muffled. The story then transitions to a group of teenagers traveling in a car on their way to a lagoon for a skinny dipping adventure. We meet Pharmacy, the confident jock, Eli, the nerdy member secretly in love with Ash, and Devin, Pharmacy's girlfriend who is irritated by the guy's decision to take a convertible without AC on a scorching road trip. The boys wait while the girls take a break behind some bushes. Suddenly, an object falls onto their car windshield, catching the boys' attention. As they investigate, they discover a severed thumb, which startles Eli and prompts Pharmacy to try and remove it using the wipers, but it only spreads blood across the windshield. To buy some time for the girls, Eli decides to delay their return while Pharmacy and him try to deal with the gruesome situation. When the girls finish, they decide to continue on foot since the lagoon is close by. They venture onto Miller's Trail and eventually arrive at a cornfield where they notice a scarecrow with a crow perched on it. This piques their curiosity since scarecrows are meant to deter birds. Unmindful of a no trespassing sign they just crossed, they move further into the field. Soon, they come across a crow feasting on what turns out to be a human finger. The friends try to shake off their unease and refocus on enjoying their time. However, as they leave, they notice a person in gunny sacks frantically running through the cornfield, calling for help. The person removes the sack, revealing a gruesome sight. A chilling whistle echoes through the air, signaling the return of the farmer from the opening scene. The terrified man attempts to flee, but the farmer, using a scythe, brutally ends his life. The group of friends is too far away to hear his screams. The friends continue their walk, becoming increasingly impatient as they struggle to find the lagoon. The girls grow frustrated, prompting the guys to suggest they move ahead while the girls rest. Eventually, the guys locate the lagoon they've been searching for, and after calling the girls, Pharmacy eagerly dives in, followed by the rest. After some water play, Eli presents a promise ring to Ash, expressing his feelings. Meanwhile, Devin and Pharmacy engage in a passionate encounter. With the time to return, the girls refuse to walk back to the car, prompting Eli and Pharmacy to go in search of it while the girls wait by the lake. However, when they reach the car's location, it's gone. Tensions flare as Pharmacy blames Eli for the missing car, leading to a heated argument. As the quarrel intensifies, the girls hear a noise from the bushes. Devin warns the intruder to back off, but the noise persists. Alarmed, the girls pick up their belongings and run towards Eli and Pharmacy, who are embroiled in a physical altercation. Unbeknownst to them, treachery is unfolding behind their backs. The group discovers that their car has vanished, and frustrations mount as they blame one another. Amid the mounting tension, Eli intervenes, trying to defuse the situation with positivity. While discussing their options, Ash spots the farmer they encountered earlier. They all head in his direction, only to find him gone when they arrive at a fenced area. Devin is the first to cross the fence, with the others following, except for Pharmacy, who is still traumatized by a childhood injury and hesitates to face his fear. As they make their way through the field, Pharmacy's fear comes true as he gets his thigh caught on a sharp part of the fence. In agony, Eli decides to remove the barbs, causing significant injury. The group attempts to find the farmer for help, but Pharmacy can't walk any further. Eli helps him sit by a scarecrow and promises to return. Annoyed by the situation, Devin offers to accompany Eli while Ash stays with Pharmacy. Eli and Devin reach a barn, but instead of calling for help, Devin attempts to seduce Eli. Despite initial reluctance, Eli gives in. Meanwhile, Ash and Pharmacy remain with Pharmacy confessing a hidden secret, producing high-quality green herbs. They share a laugh and Ash attempts to find something in Pharmacy's backpack to help with his wound. Still, Pharmacy stops her, claiming there's nothing useful. Left with no alternative, Eli uses his shirt to bind Pharmacy's wound and they set off in search of the farmer, hoping for assistance. Back at the barn, Devin and Eli are bound and the farmer prepares to inject Eli with something. Devin's screams result in her stitches tearing as she tries to resist. She cries for their release, causing the farmer to have a change of heart. Instead of harming Devin, he injects him, leading to a temporary drug-induced paralysis. The farmer then covers Devin's face with one of the eerie, burlap sack masks from his collection. Nearby, the farmer's previous victim lies unconscious. Meanwhile, Ash and Farbsy remain in the field, waiting for their friends. When Farbsy needs to use the restroom, Ash reluctantly helps him to a more secluded area in the dense vegetation. She leaves him there to handle his business and starts making her way back to the Scarecrow. Intrigued by the eerie Scarecrow, Ash peeks inside to investigate its construction. To her horror, the Scarecrow's head falls, and a swarm of maggots tumbles onto her, causing her to scream. Panicking, she hears a whistle in the distance and starts calling out, thinking it's one of her friends. But someone from the bushes grabs her, pulling her inside. Despite her initial terror, the man who captures her explains that he's been watching her group all day. He warns her that she can't escape until she comes with him. Ash pleads for her friend's safety and asks the man to take Farbsy along. The man, realizing she has no other choice, agrees and leads her to the barn, where she spots their car. However, Ash grows suspicious of the man's intentions. He eventually confesses that the Scarecrows are not mere decorations but living victims of the killer farmer, punished for trespassing. He shows Ash a body hanging from the barn's roof, presumably the killer's only partner. The trespassers are now his target for vengeance. As Ash watches in horror, the door rattles, and she hides while the man stays. When the farmer enters, the man addresses him as Dad. With a signal from the farmer, they drag in an unconscious Farbsy. The farmer removes the sack from Farbsy's head, revealing that his lips are sewn together, and he's turned into a scarecrow. The man helps the farmer secure Farbsy on a crossbar and hammers long nails into his limbs, causing Farbsy immense pain. Unable to bear witnessing her friend's torture, Ash decides to take action. She plans to attack the farmer using a hidden screwdriver. She screams to get their attention, asking them to stop, and slowly approaches the farmer. However, her attack proves futile as the farmer overpowers her. She then attempts to plead with the farmer's son for help, but the son is too afraid of his father. In a fit of rage, the farmer headbutts Ash, knocking her unconscious. After crucifying Farbsy, the farmer returns for Ash, who is now tied to the torture chair. The farmer's son, holding a knife, surprisingly sets Ash free. He explains that the effects of the injection will soon wear off and tells her that her friends are in the field. He hands her a flashlight and instructs her to escape through the cornfield and find the road. Just as Ash is about to make her escape, the farmer catches his son assisting her. The son brandishes a knife and demands that his father let Ash live, recounting that his mother's death was an accident. The corpse hanging on the roof is revealed to be his mother. The farmer, unresponsive to his son's pleas, waits for Ash to leave and then stabs his son in the neck with a knife, killing him. Ash flees into the cornfield and encounters a scarecrow, thinking it's Eli. She removes the sack, only to discover Devin's lifeless body. Ash takes a nail from Devin's body as a makeshift weapon and continues running. She stumbles upon another scarecrow, which suddenly springs to life, forcing her to flee. The farmer, disguised as a scarecrow, manages to catch up with Ash in the field. Ash trips and falls on a rock, and the farmer pins her down. She fights back, using the nail to impale the farmer's face and kicks him off. She repeatedly kicks him and makes a run for it. Hearing whimpering in the distance, Ash approaches another scarecrow, finding Farbsy still alive but in bad shape. She attempts to free him but is interrupted by the farmer. The farmer strikes Ash on the head, temporarily blinding her. He begins strangling her but leaves after Farbsy manages to utter an expletive directed at him. The farmer picks up a shovel and brutally strikes Farbsy, leaving him unconscious and bleeding heavily. Ash regains consciousness outside the cornfield, near the road, and spots a parked car. Injured and unable to walk, she tries to reach the car but is dragged back into the field by the farmer. Her cries for help go unanswered as a young couple inside the car cannot hear her due to loud music. Ash is pulled back into the field, knowing she will meet the same fate as her friends. In a nightmarish turn of events, we are transported back to the first scene where the farmer has secured Ash within the sacks. She suddenly opens her eyes and screams as she is swarmed by crows, tearing at her. Ash manages to fend off the crows by shaking her head vigorously, causing the mask to slip off her face. Her lips are sewn shut, and she gazes at the lifeless bodies of her friends, waiting for help that will never come. In a post-credits scene, a group of men arrives at the same location, unaware of the impending horror that awaits them. They trespass on the property, setting the stage for more chilling events.